facelifted version of the Lamborghini Urus. This is the Urus SE, which is actually a plug-in hybrid vehicle. This is the key of the vehicle. You get the Lambo logo here. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. And obviously the Lambo logo here. Yes, this is an Audi key, and this car is also an Audi underneath, which we all know because at the end of the day, this car actually shares its platform, powertrain and a lot of other bits with 5 other cars from the VW group. Can you write the names of those cars right below? Well, I'll tell you. The Touareg, the RSQ8, the Cayenne, of course, this one is there, and the Bentayga. Straight away, let's open the engine bay because even though it's a hybrid, it has retained the beautiful V8 engine. Yes, it's still there. It tells you the firing order of the engine, which is a very Lamborghini thing. You get insulation here. This is not the carbon fiber hood. The Performante used to get a carbon fiber hood. You get gas struts here. Washer fluid goes in right there. And obviously, the engine is completely packed. It says VW AG right there because obviously it's a Volkswagen Group car. Nice packaging here. Anyways, what has changed? Well, what is this? This is a facelift. So the face has been lifted with a bigger grille, a new bumper, a new bonnet as well, which extends all the way so you can't really see the shut line. The lights are slimmer now. These are matrix LED headlights, which are 40% brighter. The Y-shaped DRLs have gone. Now you get new DRLs here. This is the low beam, this is the high beam, and this I think is the parking light, and this is obviously the DRL here, which I will show you on this side. So yeah, that is the DRL, but the light has become slimmer. The car has actually become softer in terms of appearance. I think the older one definitely looked more macho and bully. Yeah, the name is inspired from a bull. Lambo is obviously having it in its logo as well. Lots of cuts and creases. This is the radar, obviously. That's the front camera. You get 6 parking sensors at the front because this car obviously gets self-park as well. Meanwhile, you can see it's completely open from almost everywhere so that it can breathe better. This treatment is almost everywhere. This hexagonal treatment or sort of thing. Piano black finishing or gloss black finishing on the bumper. This is where the provision for the towing hook is, and the underbody is now flat and there are vents there. In fact, a lot of open vents almost everywhere. That's the reason why this car is 15% more aero efficient when compared to before. 35% more downforce at higher speeds thanks to the front lip and the rear diffuser and better flow of air. And it has 30% better brake cooling as well because now being a hybrid, it needs better brakes. It's more powerful, it's faster as well. So that has been done. The name of this color is a bit weird, but it is actually orange in my eyes. Meanwhile, you obviously get a rain sensor there. You also get a camera for lane keep assist. Now coming to the side of the vehicle, the dimensions are huge. More than 5.1 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is more than 3 meters and the ground clearance can be raised because it has got air suspension. Right now I've raised the ground clearance of the car, but even when it's lowered, it's okay for Indian conditions, and that's one of the major reasons why the Urus has tripled Lamborghini sales since the time of launch in the past 7-8 years. Coming to the wheels of the vehicle, these are also new here. You get this gloss finishing here, which is prone to scratches. Obviously, this vent treatment I don't understand, only because it's fake with the Italian flag colors. And the wheel size 21, 22 or like these 23 Lamborghini carbon ceramic brakes finished in orange. You know what is the size of the disc? Front disc 440 mm and 40 mm thick. Well, that's huge. Well, that's what she said. The front tire size 285, 35, 23s. Alloy wheels look awesome. You can see the suspension there. Meanwhile, there's actually a camera here, no projection coming out from here, so certain things could be better. And you can see the cuts and all. Beautiful sloping roof line because this seems more like a coupe SUV. What's the name of the car? It is obviously Urus SE. Rear tires are actually bigger in terms of size. 325, 30, 23s. Beautiful design of the alloy wheels, and again orange color finishing on the brake calipers, carbon ceramic brakes. 310 mm is the size of the disc, 32 mm thick. Again quite thick, and when I've raised the right height, I can see lot of space here. This is where the fuel goes in. Look at this. How premium is this? Yes, with Urus written right there. Yeah, one of the most premium fuel caps I have ever seen. Wonderful. Absolutely lovely. And it tells you what is the fuel recommendation. 95 octane, please. Nothing below that. Unacceptable. Anyways, coming to the rear of the car, not much has changed as such. They say that they have got inspired from the Gallardo facelift with this particular element below the tail lights. Lamborghini written here. You get this spoiler treatment. It gets a new spoiler as well. High mounted stop lamp, shark fin antenna, no rear wiper washer because obviously the design is such it will push air from somewhere there, which will obviously result in water also flowing out. Y-shape element on the tail lights, indicator functioning at the moment, and this is actually the reverse light. It's there on both the sides. This is the rear fog of the vehicle. Piano black finishing on the rear bumper as well. The diffuser is new here. The tailgate is also new. They have moved the number plate from here to here. So that again is something which is new, and you can see the exhausts are massive. 2 on this side, 2 on that side as well. This is the provision for the towing hook, and the camera actually gets a cleaning function as well. Meanwhile, you get 6 parking sensors at the rear, obviously because of self park, and this car obviously has PPF as well. Now the design is amazing. This is the view most people are going to be seeing, and it has got functional vents here. Yeah, they seem to be very much functional as well, which is nice. It also says Lamborghini on the inside. Yeah, Lamborghini Technica LED, which is fantastic. So the headlights have 21 light elements, matrix lights, which are 40% brighter and all those things, but headlight washers gone, gayab, khatam, finish, over, khalas. Let's open the boot. I just press a button there and there it opens. It's a power tailgate. Boot size is 454 liters. Earlier I think it was 616 liters. So boot carrying capacity has reduced because this does not open anymore. The battery is placed right below. 25.9 kilowatt hour battery pack. The spare wheel is not offered, but for India I think they have placed it right on top. Spare wheel size 195 65 21. Smaller size. Yeah, very small size. And there is where the warning triangle is, the jack is, and all the toolkit bits have been placed here right on top. It's actually heavy and not for climbing. It says, yeah, I was planning to climb this only. This was my target in life. You can move this. I don't know what they call this, but this can be moved as well. Now you can increase or decrease the ride height from here so that it becomes easier to load in stuff. So that's another good feature. And there is this blind which has been given here, which can be removed just so that sun doesn't come inside. Meanwhile, there's a hook here. This is the first aid kit, which is obviously very premium. It's a Lamborghini at the end of the day. So you expect that, obviously. There it is, phenomenal. And this tape is to obviously put the number plate temporarily. There's a 12-volt charging socket here. Now you can obviously push the seat down in 40-20-40 format. There's a light placement here, but can you do it from here? It doesn't seem so. You have to do it from the inside only. And this is the parcel shelf, which has the orange stitching, which is also very premium here. Let me press this button and there it shuts. It's slow. Probably you should be able to alter the speed. However, no dynamic swipe indicators, which is kind of weird. What is this port? This is for the charging. Yes, for AC charging. Only AC charging is possible in this car. To save weight, yet it weighs a lot. You have request sensors on all the doors. Piano black finishing here, but this car does not have any welcome or goodbye animation, which obviously shows you the age of the vehicle, which is around 8 years now. 8 years may you get a new generation. Lamborghini is like, no, we'll just give you a facelift any which ways. Beautifully lined here door pockets. Again, big enough here. Beautiful stitching as well. Piano black finishing right there. Look at the quality. It's just amazing. Next level stuff. Beautiful. The finishing and all is amazing. You can actually customize the door pads, the colors you want, the seats, the colors you want. You can also customize this. It says Lamborghini there, does not illuminate, but you can customize that as well. And that's not all. You can also customize the steering color, obviously. It gets frameless doors. Let me put the window down. Does it go any further? No, that's it. So it doesn't completely go down. Well, that's a bit of a mess. Meanwhile, the rear seat experience is one of the major reasons why anyone would be wanting to buy this car, because other Lambos are obviously not as practical. So here I can put the seat down and let me put it up. Does it recline any further? Yes, it does. So it has some recline angle as well, which is amazing. You obviously get the tickling function here, which is nice. And there's some storage space here, so magazine holder. This is obviously hard. Height adjustable seat belt, says airbag here. There's a hook, which is obviously for your coat. There's another hook here, AC vent placement here, and this Y-shape elements which Tata Motors copies is also here. Good amount of legroom, footroom and knee room here. Yeah, that's nice. Under-thigh support is not the best, although this is a bit extended as well. Headroom seems adequate enough for someone as tall as me, just about. And you get rear AC vents, you get 4-zone climate control air conditioning system. Yeah, 4-zone. And you get 2 USB-C charging sockets. It says 3 and 4, numbering the USB-C charging sockets, and there's a 12-volt as well. There's a big hump, which means center passenger is not comfortable even though he has a head rest. Meanwhile, you get cup holders in the center. Yeah, in the armrest you get cup holders. Rear center armrest is really nice. Quite like it. And light placement here on the top, which is also nicely done. Lamborghini badging here, logo is there on the headrest, all of them except center passenger, who does not get a headrest logo. So if I want to carry longer items, I can fold it like this as well, which is quite nice. Seats are nice. I mean, the recline angle is also nice. You get orange seat belts, which actually increase the horsepower of this car by around 0.007%. And okay, I'm just dirting the car right now, which is wrong. Bang & Olufsen sound system with this nice white treatment here. Audio system is obviously phenomenal here. Lamborghini chalai jaane o. Which actually brings me to the dashboard of the vehicle, because it gets revision. It gets a 3D effect to it, and there are some new things as well. So for that, let's get ahead. Before that, let me show you that it has got a panoramic sunroof. The Performante, which I had shot earlier, had a carbon fiber roof, so it did not have a sunroof there. Out of Alcantara, they've put it everywhere, but hard plastics obviously they're lower down. What a comfortable place to sit in, but I don't know how many people would be like, okay, chauffeur, drive the car, I'll sit here and enjoy myself. I'm not too sure, but beautiful. And Isofix child seat mounts have been given. Leather, Alcantara, suede, everything you name it. Lamborghini uses amazing premium materials. That is obviously a given. Speaker right on your head, which is quite nice. Beautiful treatment here on the roof as well. And the front seats are a bit, why am I dirtying things? Why is my hand so dirty? I don't know. Yeah, so the thing is, the front seats are a bit big, so obviously that will hinder visibility at the front, because this is a one-piece seat and the headrest does not move here at all. Let's get outside. Actually, you sit quite low in this car, and it gives you some instruction of how you should be putting the headrest, which is kind of weird and interesting as well. Let's shut this. Obviously, it has got soft close door function. You don't have to bang close the door, which is quite nice. Which actually brings me to the glove box, which isn't big enough here. It's a bit small, yeah, and it doesn't have the cooling function. Obviously, it's lined beautifully, and the manual is massive. How big? 550 pages. That's a lot to read. That's not the only thing. There are two other manuals. I think one is for the warranty and the other is a quick guide. Roadside assistance and all those things have been given. The fun part is that okay, I'm just going to keep it like this at the moment. There's a high visibility jacket as well. So I was saying the fun part is that it has got connected car tech, which is quite nice. Internet inside, hopefully. Says Lamborghini here, just in case the co-passengers like, which car are you driving? I can't recognize with the kind of performance. Is this a Ferrari? And obviously have got the Lamborghini logo on the headrest. Fixed headrest, doesn't move at all. Again, door pockets are big enough at the front. You get memory seats. Yeah, two settings you can say for the front seats. And the car just looks so damn freaking awesome. It's so desirable. Oh yeah, soft closed door function works phenomenally well. It actually gets new tires. Yes, Pirelli has made new tire compound for this car for better performance. And here is the chassis number of the vehicle. I think this is a car which you can stare at all day long because it looks so damn freaking awesome. What a machine! Let's get inside now, shall we? Because a lot has actually changed on the driver's side as well. For starters, I was talking about the soft close door function. There it shuts, beautiful, smooth and refined as well. Okay, don't lock the car. And then one touch up and down power windows for all the windows. Obviously, this is not gone all the way down, so I'm going to press it again. And there you get it, frameless doors. They look fantastic as well. Here it tells me the weight of the vehicle, which is a lot, so I feel a bit obese looking at it itself. Dead pedal is there, and you get this tri-arrow pattern on the pedals as well. So the Y-shape treatment almost everywhere except the front. They've removed it from there. Yeah, on the speakers as well. Beautiful lining. This is to open the fuel lid. This is actually to open the boot of the vehicle. Power tailgate obviously. Memory function here. Let me use that to move the seat here. And you know what's the best thing? That it is adjustable in a zillion ways. And the under thigh support is also adjustable here. This is to activate the massage function. These are the controls for the powered seats, obviously. And this should have actually illuminated. Yeah, does it illuminate? I don't think so. No. That doesn't work here. So, beautiful in terms of the feel, the materials, everything is fantastic. You can obviously customize the colors like the way you want. Headlight controls, front, rear, automatic, and I mean, you can obviously make changes wherever you want. The Italian flag has been given here. The steering seems to be the same when compared to before. And let's step inside, because you know what? Lamborghini has made the screen bigger. Yes, this screen has gone from 10.1 inches to 12.3 inches. And the software it's using is from the Revuelto. So an update to the software. But who are we kidding? Obviously, this is Audi. Yeah, the system and all is at the back end Audi, obviously. Let me first turn off the air conditioning. So there's an 8-inch screen here for the air conditioning control, which can be used for front seat ventilation, which will not work unless and until I turn on the air conditioning. No, this is for something else only. I don't understand only. So this is seat ventilation, that's seat heating here. and it works quite fast. So there's an 8-inch screen here, which is the same as the Q7 and the Q8. So controls right here for the climate control. These are newer buttons. So traction control, hazard light, front defogger, rear defogger, and this is basically to come into the drive modes, and there are 10 of them which are activated using this thing which is known as Tambaro, something of that sort. I'm not able to recollect, but you have got 6 drive modes here, 3 for on-road, 3 for off-road, and 4 EV modes here. And to turn on the vehicle, you lift it and then you press the button. You press this to come into reverse. First things first, the car is turned off, I think. Now the car is turned on, and yes, it rose to life. Now we have come into reverse. How do I come into drive? Not like this. I have to actually click the pedal, and now we are into first gear. So that's how it works. Come into parking. This is for the manual mode. Yeah, it's quite nice actually. You get twin cup holders here. You get a wireless charging pad here with 2 USB-C charging sockets as well. Some storage space has been given there as well. This also slides ahead and behind, which is quite fantastic. The steering wheel is adjustable for both reach as well as rake, and it's an electric steering obviously. However, there is no heads-up display on a particular car. You see Alcantara finish here, beautiful leather finishing. Look at those tweeters, they look fantastic. There's a tweeter here also. So yeah, a lot of speakers in this car, and piano black finishing here. Actually, the cabin looks phenomenal. Very sporty. Lot of controls here. Now this is a physical switch for the volume controller and to go to next or previous track. And the best part is, in spite of the fact that it made the screen bigger, they have not got rid of all the physical buttons. So a lot of physical buttons here. No haptic control, proper physical buttons. They understand this. That's amazing. This is for the parking sensors. This is for self-park, electric parking brake, auto hold. And this is actually to come into the, what am I coming into? Yeah, into the driver assist. So you can see speed warning, fatigue warning, distraction warning, and all those things. So yeah, if you want to activate and get into the ADAS functions, you do it from this particular button. So simple layout, very easy to use. The only thing is when you want to go through drive modes now, you have to cycle through them. You can't go back. Yeah, that's kind of fixed. And they just made this so huge and big, and if I select anything now, it comes quite small here, so it's not very visible when I make changes to things. Yeah, it's kind of small, and now I'm in EV mode. So this is how it works. What is anima? I think it means soul in Italian. So this is the soul of the vehicle in terms of what drive modes you are. Strada is obviously street, sport is sport, Corsa is track, Sabbia Terra Neve. I don't even understand what that means, but I believe that's for off-road obviously. And because this car's got air suspension, it will raise the ride height when you come into any of the off-road modes. So right now, just come into park at the moment. Now, the thing is, the steering feels nice to hold. You get these beautiful paddles, which are actually plastic, not metal, but really nice in terms of design. Buttons on the steering wheel. Now, this is for the volume controller. This is for voice commands, and this is push to pass. So there, when I press this button, you see 20 seconds of boost, and the cluster mode also changes. Now, the cluster mode has this tachometer in the center, which is nice. And I can make changes on the left side. So you see, I can get into G meter, pitch and roll, tire pressure monitoring system, hybrid and autonomy, V8 indicators and all those things. I can do that on the left as well. So here you see ADAS menu, telemetry. It has got 300 plus tracks right now. If I come into telemetry, one second, I'm just kind of fumbling. So when I come into telemetry, it's showing me the stopwatch. Yes, lap timer has been given there. So dynamic widgets are basically, see, I'm getting a bit confused. Now I come into dynamic widgets, which has a G-force meter, it has a pitch and roll meter, and then obviously the tire pressure monitor is there. It's showing me what is the level of battery when you use e-boost, and obviously how is the flow of the power in the vehicle. So yeah, a lot of information there. And then I can obviously turn on the navigation menu in case I'm planning to navigate somewhere. Very nice, has this haptic touch. I mean, it has this click to it. Yeah, beautiful click to it when you press the buttons. So these buttons feel awesome. That is actually for the cruise control. This is obviously for the indicators and the headlight. This is the wiper control of the vehicle. So this is a 12.3 inch screen, which Lamborghini says now gets a new HMI, human machine interface. It's a bit slicker to use when compared to before. It is actually quite damn awesome. Really nice. Yeah, very easy to use. Superb. Absolutely like slick. Very nice. I love it. You get an auto dimming mirror here. Now here you get light controls on the top. Obviously, yeah, you can just touch it to activate it. Here you get a mirror along with a light. This does not extend at all. Yeah, this does not extend only, which is a bit weird. And let's open the sunroof. So I press a button here and there it opens. So obviously super SUV also needs to have a sunroof. That's the reason why it's super, because it has all the freaking features in the world. It opens quite a bit. Yeah, brings in a lot of airiness inside. So obviously this is sort of tinted to prevent heat from coming inside, and then the blind is a bit flimsy. I would say it could have been better. Yeah, this is a bit weird, the blind. That actually brings me to the AC vents. They are new here. Yes, they have removed a number of slats from the AC vents, so revised AC vents. Yeah, this is a bit flimsy, could have been done better for sure, but separate switches to open the sun blind and the sunroof, which is very good. So they understand very well ergonomics and they have done a fantastic job with that. Now, this is the drive mode menu. Actually, this is an Audi screen which has been layered with hexagons and a little bit different software. So you have this navigation menu here, which is quite nice, which actually brings me to the settings menu because there are a lot of settings. Again, this is very much Audi here. So I can't do much because firstly there is no heads-up display here, and ambient light has just one color. That's it. Just one color for the ambient lighting. All the settings and menu very similar to what we have seen in Audi cars. So nothing new here to explore because yeah, that's what they have done. Just taken stuff from Audi cars, and yeah, you can connect to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of them wirelessly here, which is quite nice. And you can actually configure this. Yes, you can configure these widgets as well, and then you have this tilt angle and all those things also here. Is telling me if the ride height has been raised. Again, Audi menu here, statistics, engine flow, temperature, all that data. I have seen this so many times in Audi cars that I just can't get over it. So damn freaking similar. Now let's come into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera. It has obviously got adaptive guidelines, and now I have got self park as well, so I can decide where and how I want to park. And obviously I've got a 360-degree parking camera with the 3D view. Car's color is different. There is no sunroof here. The car I'm driving is so much more customized, but it doesn't feel like that. It just feels a bit plain and basic. Yeah, here, never mind. Let's come out of this menu by simply coming to park, and there it gives me the option of coming out of this menu as well. So beautiful screen, very slick to use, bigger in size now, and the dashboard has no hard plastics as such, soft materials. The horn is also very nice here. Seats are comfortable. These are actually new seats, so it gets new seats, new AC vents, bigger screen. So certain changes have been done to make the overall experience of this car much better. But I love the fact you have to lift and do this. This is so nice. It says goodbye. Air conditioning is actually a chiller here. Please check rear seats, it says, and let me open the door. And as soon as I do that, the seat actually moves behind as well. Now the thing is, when you turn on this vehicle, it obviously gives you the Audi sound that, yeah, Urus SE, welcome. Make this Lamborghini as yours. No, not at the moment. Beautifully slick screen. Everything in this car is right because there are not too many screens. Okay, it has 3 screens, but thankfully a passenger focuses on the road and not playing games here. No games in this infotainment system because this car is about the driving experience. That's the reason why we should just stop blabbering and start driving as well. Alright, it's time to start driving. Notice the speakers, yes, they actually go down. So let's turn on the car and this actually come out as well. That's so damn cool. 21 speakers, 1700 watt of output, amazing. The glove box is lockable, so you can hide all your money there if you want. The problem is that they haven't given rear sunblinds, which the RS Q8 definitely has. In fact, there's a proper place for the key here, which is quite nice as well. And the alarm button is hidden on the door. So when you open the door, there's a reflector as well as an alarm button. In terms of airbags, this car has got 8 airbags, which is obviously less for the kind of cost this car has. Straight away, first things first, we are going to come into Corsa mode, which is obviously the track mode. Air conditioning off quickly. Yeah, there it is off. Yeah, I'm just going to continue as a guest. Here we have the meter here in Corsa mode. Obviously, this thing also changes, which is kind of cool. Just click the pedal here to come into drive mode. Left foot on the brake. We're not going to launch it as such, and off we go. That's 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.84 seconds. Now, why didn't I do launch control? Well, with launch control, they claim this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 3.4 seconds. But this is a dealer car. The dealer thinks that the car should not be subjected to launch control. It will damage certain parts, which is not true. But then I have to respect the dealer because he's giving me the car with a limitation of driving 35 kilometers only, which means that we have to be really snappy today. Okay, look at the downshift. So damn freaking aggressive. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh my goodness, yeah, what a car. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in 3.4 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour comes up in 11.2 seconds. These are obviously claim numbers because this is now very powerful. How powerful? Oh my god, the exhaust has been tweaked as well, so it sounds even better now. Same 4-litre twin-turbo V8 engine has been retained, the EA825, which also powers a lot of other VW Group cars. In fact, this powertrain is exactly the same as the Bentayga. However, the Bentayga has 17 horsepower less. So the 4-litre bi-turbo V8 engine is now producing lesser power, 620 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque. And the Performante, I think it was 640 horsepower, and gearbox had a limit of only taking 850 Newton meters of torque. But what's the difference here is that instead of downsizing, they decided to give it hybrid because they had to meet emission norms. And the result is, with the plug-in hybrid system, they have cut 80% of emissions here and also improved the fuel efficiency of the car, which is claimed at 17.5 kilometers per litre. In fact, just the engine alone returns 7.75 kilometers per litre, which isn't bad as such. The performance, oh my god, I can't even realize what speeds I'm doing. I had no intention to cross those speeds, but yeah, this engine is absolutely bonkers. The car is so damn freaking fast, it's unbelievable. So what we'll do, we'll come into the Strata drive mode, because let's take things a bit easy. Now let's talk about the plug-in hybrid system. How is it and what does it do? So it basically improves the efficiency of the car, also boosts the performance and improves the handling as well. And how does it do that? Well, for starters, it has a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is not a small size battery, but the range is very small at just 66 kilometers with this battery. Yeah, 66 kilometers is the electric only range. Meanwhile, the top speed is 130 kilometers per hour on electric only mode. So not very impressive in that regard, but the handling is just amazing because it has got 48 volt anti-roll bars. And it has got very smart limited slip differential. So at the rear we have an ELSD, electronic limited slip diff. What it does is basically it ensures that it's able to channel power or torque to the front and rear in real time. Meanwhile, earlier it had a center diff which would just kick in when it would detect a lack of traction. But here, when you turn off traction control and when you start going off, right, like you start sliding, the car will let you do that because it realizes you want to drift. So you can do 4-wheel drifts as well, which is quite amazing. The gearbox is an 8-speed torque converter unit, very snappy with shifts. So like I was telling you, the engine makes 620 horsepower, 800 Newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, the electric motor here makes 192 horsepower and 483 Newton meters of torque. And combined, the overall output happens to be a phenomenal 800 horsepower and 950 Newton meters of torque. The electric motor is planted right inside the gearbox, just like in the case of the Revuelto. The result is that it works for reverse, obviously. And now I think I should do the brake test. Super brakes, absolutely phenomenal, but obviously brakes are not as good as regular non-hybrid Uruses because obviously that regen thing comes into play. Straight away come into Corsa mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Oh my god, it definitely rose to life. Hazard lights off. Yeah, hazard lights, you need to be off, and off we go. Upshifts at around 6,500 RPM, 0 to 100 in 3.71 seconds. So it has an 85 litre fuel tank, but when you combine everything, you realize it's more efficient, it's faster, it's heavier by 160 kgs or something of that sort. Yet it is faster because the hybrid really makes a huge difference in terms of performance. In fact, the battery pack, which happens to be chargeable only via AC power, is 20 to 100% capability of charging in 4.2 hours. No DC here. To save weight, obviously ride quality is still on the stiffer side, even though they have dual valve dampers now. But yeah, you just can feel the stiffness inside this car, which is expected considering how it has been set up to be able to do a top speed of 312 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, regen braking is also there. So many drive modes. 4 for EV alone, which is absolutely crazy. It has got air suspension. Adaptive dampers are obviously there. So when you make tweaks to the drive modes, it makes changes to the engine, the gearbox, the air suspension, the adaptive dampers, the steering wheel as well. Steering is a bit light. I think it could have added, it could have had slight more weight. That would have been really cool as well. And then because of low profile tires, you have to be really careful over bad roads. You can't just like fly past because then obviously you can feel a lot on the inside as well. Do I have manual mode? Yes, I do. Let's see what it does for me. Does it hold on to a gear? Oh, yes, it does. At 6,800 RPM, revs very fast. The hybrid basically makes sure that there is no turbo lag here whatsoever, because inherently big fat turbo V8s obviously have a lot of lags because of big turbochargers. Here there is none, because the electric motor gives instant boost, which makes the power delivery very linear and makes this whole car so damn freaking fast. It's unbelievable how quick it is. Ground clearance, not an issue. That's the biggest USP of an Urus. You can drive it over the worst of roads without having to worry at all, because obviously with air suspension also you can raise the ride height quite a bit. You can go off-road too if you want, but honestly it's not about off-roading this car. It's more about the driving feel, because you sit so low and it obviously doesn't feel like the RS-Q8 in any which way, even though it shares a lot with the RS-Q8. The RS-Q8 has a 48-volt mild hybrid system, because of which the RS-Q8 is producing 640 horsepower and 850 Newton meters of torque, more than the internal combustion engine here. But because of the hybrid and all, oh my goodness, it becomes absolutely crazy. However, it's just 0.1 second quicker when compared to the Urus S in terms of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration, and 0.1 second slower when compared to the Urus Performante, because that one is obviously lighter. The real benefit of the hybrid or the electric motor here is not about outright acceleration. It is about any given speed. You get on the throttle, there's an instant rush, there's an instant push, and that instant rush and push only happens because of the fact that the electric motor makes sure that it fills all the gaps which the internal combustion engine is facing in terms of power delivery, making it very snappy, very fast, very quick, very efficient, and very dynamic as well. Because of the 48-volt anti-roll bars, it handles supremely well. 4-wheel steer, all this comes together to make the Urus SE absolutely phenomenal to drive. What a machine. MLB Evo platform shared with the Touareg, with the RS-Q8, with the Cayenne, with this, I mean this one has it, and obviously the Bentley Bentayga also uses the exact same one. So a lot of cars using the same platform and engine and powertrain, and I can have pops and cracks and all those things. So going hybrid hasn't dulled the experience one bit, because you still have this, yeah, you still have the cracks, pops, and the mentalness which comes with an internal combustion engine. Long live the V8. Now ideally I would like to launch it in sport mode and all, but I have come into EV mode right now because we can take it easy, and I've turned on the air conditioning because obviously everything seems to have heated up a lot in terms of the camera, in terms of me, not the car. Obviously it has better cooling now. Now it has become faster than a BMW M5, because the M5 has become like slower with this particular generation, and an 85-liter fuel tank here is quite important, because otherwise you are kind of screwed with the kind of fuel consumption this car has. It's going to return 3 to 4 kilometers per liter if it did not have hybrid. Because of hybrid, obviously it is much better, but Lambo is like, we don't think any owner is going to plug the car in to charge it. Obviously doesn't make sense. Who has the time and patience to wait? I mean, you have to do night charging obviously to be able to charge it completely. So instead, the internal combustion engine can charge the battery up to 80%, thereby ensuring the same performance here, which is quite good. And even when on EV mode, I think the battery is not charged right now, but even on EV mode now, it is 4-wheel drive. It's 4-wheel drive all the time. And yeah, so when I come into Corsa mode, then I have the option of changing various things. Like right now I'm on performance for the battery. I can come on recharge, and then obviously I can come on EV also. So firstly Corsa mode, recharge, and yeah, hybrid mode also, but that's not working right now because I think I have drank the complete battery. So we are going to come on to recharge. Let's try and recharge the battery as much as possible. The electric motor is not only improving performance and efficiency, it's also improving the dynamics of the Urus. Sadly, it can't improve the ride quality because obviously it's still on the stiffer side, especially with these low profile tires. You feel almost everything. But I'm a bit disappointed with the battery because that really doesn't give you much of a range. Like, what is the range? 66 kilometers is absolutely nothing. I definitely expected way more. Okay, now I think we'll stop because I think the battery should have charged a bit so that we can launch it with a bit of aggression. Okay, first things first, let's come into Corsa mode. And I don't know why ESC is actually gone into sport. I think ESC Corsa is what it's showing me right now. And I have come to performance as well. Air conditioning has to be turned off. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. We come out of manual mode, which is basically pressing this button into drive. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, driving the motor, and off we go. Yeah, consistently 3.8. So 0.4 seconds is what launch control actually gives you, which is amazing. Now just imagine I am in sport mode, right? Cluster changes. I realized that I need to overtake this guy. Obviously, I don't need to change any modes, but there's a button here, push to pass. I press this 20 seconds of additional boost here, which makes sure that I'm able to fly ahead that's quite amazing. The push to pass function, 20 seconds of full power, full boost, making sure that I just fly, honestly. In terms of weight distribution, 54% at the front, 46 at the rear. The car doesn't feel its weight because the whole tech inside actually defies the weight of the vehicle. It defies physics. That's how well done it is. And the new tire compounds obviously result in better grip and all, which I can't feel right now because obviously I need to push it to the max on a racetrack, obviously. Now with the air suspension, you can raise the car up to 75 mm, which is quite a lot actually. But then even on the lowest height, you're not going to have any issues crossing even the worst of speed breakers. So a lot of agility here, great torque vectoring as well, which works both latitudinally and longitudinally as well. And the whole EV tech is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, well done Lambo, well done. Which actually brings me to the history of the car. First came in 2017, 2018. This particular facelift came in 2024, and they have updated the car, given it a lot of special editions. Pearl capsule was there, and then obviously the Performante was there, and they keep doing changes time and again. But right now SE is the only variant available, and obviously they plan to bring the Performante later, but they are like, we will go complete EV with the second generation of the Urus in 2029, which I doubt is going to happen because honestly doesn't make sense only now. Lambo's like, we don't want to do EVs only because EVs don't make any sense. Nobody wants to buy EVs, so we are not going to be EV specific brand or any EV model, but we are hybridized completely. All models of Lambo are now having a hybrid, whether the Revuelto or the Temerario or this one as well, which actually works quite well because the hybrid here only makes the performance better and makes the ride and handling everything better as well. So this car actually replaces the Urus S and the Urus Performante, and this car alone has actually tripled sales of Lamborghini since its launch, because earlier we just had the Aventador as well as the Huracan. The Huracan used to sell quite well. The V12 engine obviously very expensive too, so that's something which is what has to be factored in. Off we go. This car sold around 35,000 units across the globe, which is nice. In fact, 70% owners of the Urus are first time Lamborghini customers, and 41% are under the age of 40 as well. Times are changing, people, the younger generation is becoming richer and richer as well, but they don't have mental peace. That aside, the price of this car is 5.51 crores, very expensive, 81 lakhs for registration. The first year insurance 17.56 lakhs. So yes, it's very expensive. In fact, the G63 AMG now looks very affordable at rupees 4.6 crore. And the Audi RS Q8 with the same heart and similar performance, it goes from 0 to 100 km in 3.6 seconds. It also feels quite nice at rupees 3.03 crores on road Mumbai. So the rivals of this car, the Aston Martin DBX 707, the Cayenne GDS, turbo is gone I believe, the Bentayga, which is obviously a lot more expensive, and the Ferrari Purosangue, which is even more expensive, absolutely crazy expensive. So yeah, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch, and off we go. 0 to 100 in 4.55 seconds. Which one would you buy? Let me know in the comment section below. But I have some good news as well. The price of this car is definitely going to tumble. How and why? Because obviously the India EU FTA, which is going to result in prices dropping significantly. EV mode, and that's actually kind of crazy in a super SUV. So prices will drop by at least a couple of crores, I believe, if taxation falls from 110 to 10%, but it's going to fall from 110 to 40% and then to 10%. But you can't really say at the moment what's going to happen, because obviously a lot of speculations, still going to take some time for that to happen. But once that happens, oh my goodness, affordability will come into the picture. Can't wait for Urus to become much cheaper and affordable as well. And obviously there's going to be a lot of ambiguity around hybrid, plug-in hybrid and all those things, because all the cars are hybrid these days. Even a regular car in Europe has a 48-volt mild hybrid system at least, and now even on such roads which are not bad, which are not good either, I can feel the stiffness. In spite of the fact that it actually softened the suspension, the car still feels stiff. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. I'm alone going to save the world along with Greta Thunberg by driving on EV mode. Bye-bye.